Okay, so here's some extra examples from section 4.6. This was the homework problem you had to do. So here's the deal. Solve for x. What we have to recognize is, in this triangle, these two angles are congruent. That's why they're 4x minus 8 and 4x minus 8. But we also have a pair of congruent sides, so it's an isosceles triangle, so the base angles are congruent. So F is congruent to E, but D is opposite this side, E is opposite, so those angles are also congruent. So what this actually is an equilateral triangle. So if you just try to say, oh, I'll set 4x minus 8 equal to 4x minus 8, you run into the issue of you add 8, you subtract 4x, you subtract 4x, you get 0 equals 0. There's nothing to solve it. However, since this is equilateral, it's also equiangular, meaning all the angles are 60. So if 4x minus 8 equals 60, add 8, 4x is 68, divide by 4, x is then 27. Okay, so that was the trick to that one. The sides are easy. They're isosceles. You just set 8y minus 5 equal to 6y plus 3. Subtract 6y, add 5, you get 2y equals 8. Divide by 2, y equals 4. Okay, so yeah, there you go. All right. Next set of examples, we can kind of breeze through these pretty quickly. The key is that, oh, it's isosceles, meaning that the base angles are congruent. But hey, one of those base angles is 60, so it means actually one of those angles is 60 means the other two have to be 60 as well. So BAC has to be 60 degrees. SRT, this one's a little trickier. It's an again isosceles triangle, but this one isn't 60, so it's 50. So it's 180 minus 50, which gives us 130. These two guys have to add up to 130 and be congruent, so divided by 2, 65 degrees. Okay, now, on number 17, you're looking for the length of TR. Well, the key to catch this is, hey, this is isosceles, meaning these base angles have to be congruent, and really we're back up at the same thing on 15. Oh, this is 60 degrees, so this has to be 60, and this also has to be 60 for that angle. Oh, it's equiangular, meaning it's equilateral as well, so TR is 4. And then number 18, you have a pair of congruent angles, meaning those opposite sides have to also be congruent, so if this is 3, that guy has to also be 3 for CB. Now, I don't know what AB is. I can't figure that out because I don't know the angle measures, but I do know that's 3. That this one's 3. Okay. All right. Next problem. Okay. Next problem. We got to solve for y and for x. Now, somebody might be tempted on this one. Sure, I don't know. See what happened in class to add up all the angles and say equals 180. The problem is you got x and y in one equation. What we really have to do is go, oh, this is isosceles. The base angles are congruent. So 180 minus 52 is 128 divided by 2. That gives us 64 degrees. So y is 64, x is 64. So set 4x plus 20 equal to 64. 4x is 44, x is 11. And then set 6y minus 2 equal to 64. 6y is 66. Y is also equal to 11. That's kind of weird. So that's what was going on with 21. And then a proof that we went over in class. We're trying to prove that HF is congruent to IF. Now, sometimes what helps to do is to kind of label those two that you're looking to prove. So there's HF and IF. And I like to say, well, what I know is what I know. Well, I know that FG is congruent to FJ, and I also know that HG is congruent to IJ. So looking at this problem then, through experience and thinking about it, what I know I'm going to have to do is use the fact that I've got a pair of a big isosceles triangle. Triangle FGJ is isosceles. And the reason I know this is because these two sides are congruent, which then also means these angles are congruent. Angle G and angle J. Now, if you're saying yourself, why do I need to know that, or why is it helpful? Well, what that means is these two triangles here are congruent, the small guys, which means then FH and FI have to be congruent because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So, let's jump into the proof then. So 1 is all the given stuff. It's late tonight and feeling lazy. Okay, step 2 is that angle G is congruent to angle J by the isosceles triangle theorem. Okay. Then step 3 is that triangle FGH is congruent to triangle FJI by side angle side. And step 4 is that FH has to be congruent to FI by CPCTC. So again, this isn't everything from this section. It's barely anything, really. We went over a lot in class. But if you have, hopefully it's much to help you out a little bit. If you do have any questions, come in and see me. Yeah, we can go over what you missed.